Hey, warriors. Okay, so we're at a point now in spiritual growth that it's not about finding more teachers. It's about learning and remembering how to listen to ourselves. Okay? Um, we all know for thousands of years, humanity has been conditioned to believe that truth, comes from outside of us, from fucking gurus, prophets, spiritual leaders, whatever. You know what I mean. And I'm not saying that you know didn't have any value, okay? But I am saying, you know, it was never meant to be a permanent thing like it became. You know, we were never meant to depend on that. I don't know. They were meant to, remind us of something, not fucking replace it, I guess is what I'm saying. Um, because let me put it this way. It was never meant to be like a, one person speaks and the rest of us follows kind of thing. You know? Um, we're supposed to be in collective remembrance, everyone connected, everyone receiving, everyone capable of direct communion with their own soul. You know? No middleman fucking required. But somewhere along the way, that connection got outsourced along with everything else, okay? Um we stopped trusting our inner voice. Started waiting on that external validation, waiting for someone to tell us uh, if we're on the right path, if we're ascending, if we're chosen, when we're activated, that kind of shit. There's danger in that. I mean, honestly, it might be subtle, but it's definitely fucking real. Because once you believe someone else has more authority over your soul than you do, you disconnect from your own soul. And right now, I know that's what everybody wants, you know? But and let me say that one more fucking time, dude. Because people really need to understand. No one has more access to your soul than you do. Nobody. No gurus, no fucking channelers, no teacher, no psychic. Nobody. You are the one living in your body. You're the one breathing your breath. You are the one that is directly connected to your own oversoul. You know, I think where people get a little bit confused is they start believing that a channeler is, I don't know, somebody special, or that a channeler is something rare. Okay, dude, it's not reserved for gifted fucking people. You know, it's not a thing where only certain individuals have a connection to higher guidance. I know that there's a lot of people out there that are teachers, and yeah, I know that their intentions come from a good place. But, okay, when they start making it seem like they're the ones that are special, that they're the only ones or they're a rare bunch, no, dude. Mm-mm. We channel every single day. Some people just call it something different. They call it intuition. They call it sudden knowing. They call it gut feelings. They call it creative downloads. Um, uh, that's all channeling. Every bit of that is channeling. You know, uh, information moving from soul to mind. The difference between uh, Let me think. The difference between you and someone known as a channeler, I guess. It's not ability to channel, it's trust. That's fucking all that it is. That's the only difference. They trust their signal. Most people fucking doubt it. They second guess, they dismiss it, they talk themselves out of it. So the channel fucking weakens. Not because it's gone, but because you're ignoring the channel. That's it. That's the only difference. And this is where I want to shift perspective, because the next phase of awakening is not about following more voices. It's about strengthening your own. Everyone has to learn how to sit in that stillness and listen inward instead of fucking upward, outward, sideways. Your own soul has been speaking to you for forever. Through your breath, through your body, through resonance, through expansion and contraction. You don't activate that voice, you attune to it. I don't know. That is what sovereignty actually means. Not rebellion, not isolation, but sourced fucking guidance. Being able to trust your own field, trust the truth inside your own field without needing any external confirmation. You know what? Also, let me be clear about this because it's important. I'm not dismissing teachers, okay? I'm not. Some people help us remember. Some people, help us translate those early signals. Some people hold frequency until we can stabilize our own, okay? But a true teacher should always point you back inward to yourself. Not make you dependent on them. If someone positions themselves as your permanent, interpreter to the divine, that's not empowerment. That's hierarchy. And hierarchy was never the design of awakening. Coherence was. Coherence is. Because imagine a world where everyone channels their own soul directly. There's no manipulation. There's no blind following. No spiritual gatekeeping. Just individuals, anchored in their own inner knowing, moving in collective harmony. Sounds like a dream, don't it? But it's not. That's evolution. And, so how do you begin, strengthening your own channel? Because it's a lot simpler than you would think. A lot easier than you'd think. Spend time in silence. It's just the basics, dude. That's it. Listen to your breath. Listen to what contracts and what expands. And journal everything that you learn, journal your inner dialogue. The biggest one, honestly, is trust that first signal. The very first one, before that fucking fearful override. Your soul speaks to you. It's quiet, okay? But it is consistent. And the more you trust it, the louder it's going to get. All right? And not as noise, okay? But as clarity, as steadiness, as direction. You know, and direction without any fucking confusion, because you were never meant to just wander around looking for truth. You know, that's a bunch of bullshit. Ooh. You were designed to broadcast from within. You don't need permission to hear your soul. You don't need a certification to trust your fucking knowing. You don't need a prophet. You can be your own prophet, you know? Because you were built to be your own, you know? I mean, not above anyone, not, more special than anyone, but we're supposed to be, I don't know, equally connected, equally sourced, equally connected to, the divine. I don't know. So this next phase, it's not about following, finding the right voice to follow for the rest of the fucking year. It's about you becoming that damn voice that you trust. Listening inward. Channeling directly from your field. I don't know what else to say. Just remember that the clearest guidance you're ever gonna receive is gonna come from you. Never outside of your field. Once you learn to trust it, it will rise up from within your own field. That's where your guidance is. Right there. I love you.